All right, this is Tyson Graves, STL Motorsport Magazine, and we have big news today as Bobby Pierce made the announcement that he will part ways with Dunn Benson at the conclusion of the Portsmouth race next weekend. And so we got Bobby on the phone tonight. How's it going tonight, Bobby?
Good, thanks for having me.
All right, well, first thing, congrats on the Pittsburgh 100 win. How does it feel to go to a new track like that for the first time and be able to pull off a big win?
And it feels really good. I was struggling at that place early on in the feature and Hollis before the feature. We just couldn't really get the right setup, and I was still trying to figure the place out. And I figured with it being a day race, I didn't really know how good the racing was going to be, and heck, it ended up all working out. And to be there for the first time and get the win. My dad, he was talking to me about it, and he's like, "Man, that's pretty impressive. I've only done that like I think once or twice at some places."
Oh.
And but yeah, it's pretty cool. And a lot of credit goes to him. I pulled in, and we actually got both rear tires changed during that pit stop, and that's what really brought the car to life. And also I-80, the first time I went there was Silver Dollar Nationals this year. Just about should have won that thing too if we didn't break.
Yeah, I tell you what, you're really getting good at these Sunday afternoon matinees. A couple weeks ago over at Brownstown, and then this weekend out at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, definitely. Really, I don't know why, because normally the day races aren't as good of racing, but the past two day races, the 100 lappers even, at Brownstown and at Pittsburgh were some of the best races I think that we could have seen. And I don't think I'm saying that just because I won them, but heck, Brownstown coming down the last lap, that was really interesting with me and JD, and everything just finally worked out for us. We had some luck on our side for those races, and we ran really good all year. And I think if we didn't fall out of so many races, we definitely could have been at least top three in points.
Yeah, definitely a lot of bad luck this year with mechanical issues. So the rumor's been floating around for a while. What's Pierce going to do with his 2019 season? Is he going to be out at Dunn Benson? That news came today that you're no longer going to be with Dunn Benson, of course, after Portsmouth. What led to the decision for you to part ways with Dunn Benson and to come back home and run the family Pierce car for the upcoming 2019 season?
Yeah, well, it was kind of a few weeks thinking about it. Just all years kind of I'd kind of miss home when I was down there working on my stuff. And when I was home, I'd kind of miss not being able to have the cars at the shop at home and be able to work on them right there, and kind of have everything at my disposal to use to race whenever, where I wanted to go, to have that option. But I mean, all year, it was really fun, especially around the Lucas Series, going all these different tracks. And I think a lot of tracks, I have some favorite tracks now too. But just got to give a huge thanks to Dunn Benson Motorsports and everyone, all my crew guys working with that deal. All believing in me, and believing in me that we'd be able to win a Lucas Oil Championship. And like I said, we came actually pretty close if you don't count all the races we've fallen out of. And but yeah, definitely just being back home and being close to the tracks, something I want to get to, and just having everything here, I think is the biggest thing. And just mostly that stuff. And it was pretty challenging to think about, but it was a really good year. I can't really say it could have been a whole lot better, especially with all the things we had going on. When Carlton passed away, that definitely put a big cloud over us. I can't really think of how Kemp could have handled that any better. He did a great job with that. All sorts of other stuff. All the motors we broke this year, that definitely didn't help the team. And but we stayed with the Lucas Series, and it kind of sucked when they decided they weren't going to do any other races besides Lucas. So then it kind of made me have to go back on my own stuff, and so just stuff like that. But it's just mostly my decision, of what I want to do, what I'd be more comfortable with next year, and try that out. But I told them, you never know. Maybe in the future, if I ever want to do it again, if it's available, then you never know.
All right, so definitely being out there with the Dunn Benson team and running the full series on the Lucas Oil Series. What did Bobby Pierce learn that he can apply to the rest of his career?
Oh, just getting out to all those different tracks. A lot of the more southern tracks, it kind of learned some things on the car, but really the whole entire year with this rocket car, it was a little bit of a challenge from the beginning, and now I think we got that thing figured out pretty well. At least we've got some things figured out that when the track is a certain type of condition, we kind of know what to do with it and be good. So I think it kind of took some of this year to learn all that stuff, and now we kind of know what to apply to it to be fast all the time, and um, so that really helps definitely. And I don't know, just working with that team, it got me pretty involved in some other kind of ways. I mean, I never really drove for anybody like that before, so it was mostly just it's been me and my dad. So that was a little bit of a different feel, and it was definitely a fun year running the Lucas series. Like I said, getting to all those different places. Some tracks I hated, some tracks I really liked a lot. So
Alrighty, so it sounds like you're going to continue to run rocket chassis next year, and we're going to be looking at Pro Power engines as well for next year.
yeah, that's probably the plan for right now. Definitely, that's Pro Power is what I've had forever, and rocket chassis is a new thing it was at the beginning of this year, and I really like the way it's been driving lately and stuff. And I think Mark builds a pretty good piece.
Alrighty, so what type of schedule are we going to look at next year for Bob? Are we going to see him on a national tour, or are we going to see some vintage Bobby Pierce type schedule with the Hell Tour sandwiched in between a bunch of crown jewels and major Midwest events?
Yeah, I don't really know, honestly, but my guess is I'll probably end up doing Summer Nationals probably when it comes around. Um, as of now, that's my idea, anyways. And I'll be getting all the big races, the majority of them, anyways. And like there's a few tracks that I really like going to this year, and a few events that I had never been to before, and had success when I went to them this year. So I'll probably be back to some of those next year that I haven't really been to in the past that much. And I don't know, maybe I'd really like to get a modified built too and race some modified races every now and then if I could. But I don't know, we'll have to see about that. Just right now, it's kind of just putting everything together for next year. But we still got to focus on finishing this year out really strong. We got the World this weekend with my own stuff. Break back out the Joker for that, and then we got the Dirt Track World Championship after that. That'll be my last race with Dunn Benson. Then after that, I think my next race should be Gateway. I'm really looking forward to that one, especially with the midgets being there. That'll be pretty cool to see. And then I'm planning on going to Arizona. I might even be going to New Zealand. I'm not sure.
All right, we remember a couple years ago went down to New Zealand and picked up the win down there. It's a lot of fun racing down there as well.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I think my girlfriend will be able to come with me too. Maddie should. The first time I went down there was me, my girlfriend, my mom, and it was kind of a mixture of vacation and racing. I only got to race twice. I was supposed to race 3 times, but one of them rained out. But I ended up getting second and first, and just to win a race is always cool. But to win a race in a different country, that's definitely something to say that when you can do it. That's really cool to do that, I guess. And hopefully we can get another win when we go down there. If that happens, I'm trying to put it together, but we'll see if we can go down there.
All right, you've mentioned your dad and thanked him several times. How important is it to have your veteran Hall of Famer, your father there with you? What's it like to have him by your side there each time you get out there to race?
Oh, it's definitely key to all of my progress. I think heck, he's been with me forever and kind of knows what I like to feel in the car. And now, like I said, with both of us kind of learning this rocket thing together this year, we both have a pretty good idea on it, and I can kind of describe what the car's doing, and we both talk about things and try to make it a little bit better for how the track conditions are that night. And running a Lucas series like we did this year, you're going up against the best every single night. And I mean, really, any time we race, you know, we always race bigger events, but you know, on that Lucas series, especially some places you go to, you know, those guys, they've raced those places, you know, forever, and so it was a challenge sometimes, but it's definitely important to have my dad there. I think that's one of the crucial keys that makes the car go fast.
All right, Bobby. Over this year, you've been described in many ways. The latest video calls you a throttle smasher. The preview to the World 100. You've been named the best rally or come behind driver, the smooth operator, wheelman. You got the announcer saying, "Here comes Pierce." How does Bobby Pierce come from behind in these big races?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a fan of the longer races. You have more time to really see what the track's doing and what your car's doing and kind of try to adjust. But I think when the track gets more clean, you know, some of those crumbs go away and you end up with some traction spots you can really find and pick out and use that to, you know, turn left faster, I guess you could say. But I don't know. I think just the longer races, I get more comfortable in the car, I guess, and just start to figure out the track more, and little by little, you know, you're fighting for a tenth here, tenth there every single lap, and eventually adds up. But the other day at the Pittsburgh, I know putting on some fresh tires on the back definitely helped. And for Brownstown, like when I won that race, you know, we went with a softer right rear than most people, and that ended up working out all 100 laps. And so hopefully we can really get the job done on these next two 100 lappers coming up.
All righty, just a couple more questions here. What was Bobby's favorite race or performance of the year? I think back in watching you at the Prairie Dirt Classic in that last chance showdown, you had to come from like 16th to win it. That was one that I got to see in person, and that was quite the show. But from behind the wheel, what was one of your favorite performances of the year?
You know, I mean, that's definitely top three, at least if it's not first. But you know, that was definitely a fun one. But I like Brownstown a lot. You know, passing JD with like 1 or 2 laps to go there at the very end of that race, that was just awesome. And you know, because the whole time I was right there, and I mean, I even led some of it. And then that last caution came out, he pulled back away, and I won on the bottom out of all things. So I think that was definitely one of my favorite races. And the Dirt Million, that one's up there because you know I was driving so hard, and I know I probably thought that I had the race in the bag, and Earl, I know he pitted and put some pressure tires on, and when that last caution came out, I was kind of a sitting duck there. You know, I gave it everything I had, but this wasn't enough, and because that race was really fun with, you know, how much it was to win, and all the hype that race had, and it was the very first time. So if I would have won that, that would have been really cool. And there was a lot of other races this year, like the South Dakota race. I can't remember the name of the track, but when Pearson won that race too, and I was leading a lot of it, and I actually had to run the whole entire race with the throttle stuck. And so I was running the very top of the racetrack, about falling off the track, just running the cushion on the edge. And every time I went in the corner, I had to lift a little bit, but I couldn't because the throttle was stuck. So I would take my foot and just barely lift up on the gas pedal to like bring it back, like manually lift up on the pedal. And that's how I would have to basically lift just a little bit. It didn't work very well, but yeah, I ended up getting second. Well, actually third in that race. We broke on the final lap and coasted across the line, got third. But that was another fun one.
Yeah, I also remember back earlier this year, you and Ryan Unzicker over at Macon. That was quite the show as well.
Yeah, definitely. And when you win, it's always a fun one.
All right, so you're getting ready to head out tomorrow, go back to the World. What's it going to be like to go to the World 100 in the month of October?
It's going to feel a little bit different, I'm sure. There might not be as many people there because, you know, some people might have to go back to work and they might not have it off, but it's still the World 100, and we're going to have sprint cars there on Sunday. Hopefully we can stick around and watch that. So I don't know. It might be a little bit colder, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to the colder weather though, because it's been pretty hot this past week. But I don't know. Hopefully we can get the job done there. I think we got some good momentum rolling into it, so I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be a lot of eyes on the 32 car this weekend over at Eldora. Well, we want to thank you, Bobby, for taking some time with us. You answered a lot of questions that I know a lot of the fans are asking about the upcoming season and what Bobby Pierce has got under the radar for the future. And we thank you for taking some time, Bobby, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yep. Thanks for having me, man. I'll see you.